Rabbi say we are continuing in Ve'elam Mishol in Halacha Dalid. We're still continuing the topic of Shmirat HaLashon. A person needs to know it's not 1, 2, 3. We need to mitchazik. We need to strengthen ourselves every single time when it comes to speaking Lashon Hara or Devarim Asurim, forbidden speech. Rabotai in Halacha Dalid he says like this. Katwa Mikubalim. I'm surprised he brings it down over here. Katwa Mikubalim. The Mikubalim write. Shebala Lashon Hara shemet b'li teshuva. Rabotai, if you had a habitual person that speaks Lashon Hara and he died, he left this world without doing teshuva, mitgalgel b'domem b'avnei hasadeh. Rabotai is going to come as a gilgal back into inanimate objects, rocks, trees, things that are inanimate. Ulufamim mitgalgel b'kelev, and at times he's going to come and he's going to be, what do you call it? He's going to be reincarnated. Thank you. He's going to be reincarnated into a dog. Vesovel mikach sevel gadol ad meod. He's going to suffer very greatly, very, very much. Rachman l'tzlan lo leinu. Guys, chas v'shalom. Guys, you ready for this? I want to show you something. Guys, you ready for this? Guys, he brings down over here in the Haraot. I don't want to get into it now. Ilan John, he brings over here in the Haraot something very nice. He says, how could it be? How can you tell me that if a person is reincarnated into a rock or into something that's not living, how can you tell me he's going to suffer very much? When a person comes back into this world the first time, second time, third time, you don't know your purpose why you're here. So how can you know over there when you're in the dog or in the rock? So the Rav Chaim says you should know something. That's only when you're a human being, you don't know what's your original purpose. You don't know why you came back to this world. But when you're in an inanimate object or in a dog, you understand why you're here. And this is why you're suffering, because I was a human being and now I am a dog or I'm an inanimate object. So it is a very big problem, Rabotai. It's not like we think you speak and it gets erased. Rabotai, you speak, it's mamish engraved. So a person needs to be very, very careful. This is halacha dal. Guys, another halacha. In halacha hey, he says something very tremendous. And this Rabotai will almost break a lot of people, which I don't want it to break a lot of people. Like always, Rabotai, we want to try to encourage people to always do teshuva and not to break. But Rabotai, let me ask you a question. You come here every night. You come in the morning, you learn Torah, correct? You down to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. How many hours in the day do you give your life to Hashem? How many hours in the day? Let's say 4 hours minimum. In the morning, 1 hour. At night, 1 hour. You daven shacharit min charavit. Let's say 4 hours you give to Hashem. You guys ready? Times that by 7 days in the week. On Shabbat it's a little bit more, but let's say times that 28 hours, correct? Times that by the month. Times that by the year. You're giving Hashem hundreds of hours. You ready? The question is now, where does your tefillah go? Where does your Torah learning go if you're constantly speaking Lashon Hara? So look what Halacha Hey says. Rabotai, a person who speaks Lashon Hara, Eina tefilato shel adam nishmat. Your tefillah is not going to be heard. You could pray, I don't know who you're praying to. It's not going to hide in the ceiling. Ein tefilato shel adam nishmat. Your tefillah, your prayer, is not going to be heard. Im yesh biyado avon zeh shel Lashon Hara. If you have the sin in your hand of Lashon Hara, your tefillah is not going to be heard. V'chol, Rabotai, listen to this carefully. V'chol ha-mitzaper Lashon Hara, anybody who speaks Lashon Hara, Onshahu, this is the real punishment. His punishment will be, Shelo yihu lo banim talmidei chachamim rachman l'slan. You will not have talmidei chachamim. That's the biggest zechut we want to see. What makes the father happy? When he sees the children going the right derech. And sometimes we want to know, why is the generation so off? Rabotai, where our mouths are? How they say, put your money where your mouth is. Rabotai, this is the same thing over here. When you speak Lashon Hara, you're damaging not only yourself, not only your wife. Rabotai, besides that, what's going to be with you after you die, you're not going to lull in, you're not going to be able to see your children chas v'shalom become Talmidei Chachamim. Why? Because of you, the children have to suffer. Unfortunately, at times, that's the way it works. Rabotai, he brings over here in the Haraot U'Biyurim, in Ot number 9, he says, Ken katav b'sefer Yisod v'shorosh ha'avodah shar hamayim perik bet. U'b'sefer Yarod ha'davar shchal bet darush tet katav. Listen to this. Oy lanu, woe to us. Ech tekubal ha'tefillah. How is our tefillah going to be accepted? V'talmud Torah, how's our learning going to be accepted before Hashem? Im lo shonenim meluchlechet b'tzo'ar otachat. If our tongue is dirty with a boiling number 2, meaning our tongue is fully dirty, how do we want our tefillah and our Torah to be accepted? I ask you guys one question, one simple question. You don't think that you know, how do you say, 2 steps forward, 10 steps back. You come, you learn a few hours Torah, you daven. In a month you have, let's say, 100 hours of Avodat Hashem. But what did you do? Where did those 100 hours go? Where did they really go? Chas v'shalom. It's not right. It goes backwards, Lolim. It's going to backfire. When you do teshuva, you're going to get everything back. But Rabotai, the problem over here is a person has to be careful. This is why I tell you, Rabotai, when a person learns Torah, and when you get up from learning Torah to now speak Lashon Hara, everything that you learn now, where's it going to go? So a person has to put it into as a perspective in a scale to see if it's really kadai. Stop yourself, Rabotai. By the way, I was going to tell you, I have this like a pamphlet, not a pamphlet, like a post-it note from the Gaon of Vilna. He says like this: anybody who's able to refrain himself from speaking Lashon Hara when he wants to speak it, Rabotai, the zachar, the reward that he's going to get, no angel could see that light. There's a hidden light that's going to be your reward. Why? Because it's not easy for us to hold ourselves back. You have to break your nature. Hashem says, you break your nature, I also break my nature. That's what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says. If a person has a parent or a mother or father, that's nifter chas v'shalom. Now he's angry, he wants, he has everything burning inside of him. Rabotai, he shuts his mouth. Even if his parent is in Gehenna, he's going to take and put him to Gan Eden. You know why? By you shutting your mouth, not arguing with your wife, or your wife is not arguing with you, what did you just do? You brought Hashem to your house. Hashem says, if I'm in their house, mida kedeged mida, I have to bring the father and the mother back to my house. Penthouse, Rabotai, and this is how it works. This is the power of our words. Rabotai, one more time, Rabbi, he says like this. Oh, guys, 1 second, just let me finish this. Oy lon, Rabotai, woe to us. Ech tu kubala tefillah v'talmud Torah, im l'shoneinu meluchlecha b'tzu'ar utachat. Rabotai, how is our Torah, how is our tefillah going to be accepted if our tongue is very dirty? Hem Lashon Hara, Rabotai, whether it's Lashon Hara, vehem divrei shtut, whether it's nonsense, v'schok u'moshav leitzim v'tzichat dashim, laughter and sitting with lesters, jokers, and speaking constantly with women. Nebuch, Rabotai, he says avera goreret avera. Rabotai, a person needs to take himself into his hands. You have to. That's why, Rabotai, we want to try to learn halachot. You know, the guy that started, I don't want to say his name, the guy that started this whole business of Lashon Hara, he said right here to my right side. Actually, I'm not going to say your name. I won't say your name. Rabotai. No, it's fine. Right? Rabotai, when he explained like this, Rabotai, it's very true. When you're learning and you're doing everything for Hashem, but you're not guarding yourself from Lashon Hara, you're basically, how much you're accomplishing? Nothing, Rabotai. So it is very important to know what's going on, the consequences, the reward, in order for a person to be able to stop Bezrat Hashem and bring the Mashiach to Tkenu. Baruch Adonai Olam, Amen, Amen.